Hi, everyone. This is Tracy Malone from narcissistabusessupport.com. Today, I'm going to talk about a touchy subject that happens to a lot of my clients is that when they're with a narcissist, the abuse escalates and it becomes violent. It becomes physical. It becomes broken ribs, strangulation. Lots of those sort of behaviors are common with a narcissist. Again, in this spectrum, the spectrum is there are some that will never ever get violent, and then there are some that are violent all the way through the relationship. And then there are some that when their fragile egos are threatened, then they escalate. They escalate without any sort of thought of how this will affect you or them. And it's a grab for power and control. And if they feel like they're losing it, they will do this tactic of physical violence to instill fear in you and to, assert that domination of, I'm in control and you can't do this. Well, what do you do if they get violent? You've already lived in fear and now it's come true. And you're also under threats, as I just said, that, hey, you know what? If you do anything, this is not going to stop. So a lot of victims are afraid to call the police. Duly noted. And they don't. I have so many clients who have been beaten, had broken ribs 15, 20 times, never called the police because of the fear of retaliation from the narcissist. So here's what I want you to know is that, your decision to call is your decision. However, if you are in a divorce or if you're ever going to divorce this person, this is evidence that you will need to show exactly how dangerous they can be. And by not calling and having 16 broken ribs and then one day going, I think I'll call the police. It doesn't have as much cred because you've had these other incidences that, again, please understand victims of violence are very often silenced by the control. But again, getting yourself into a situation where you can call, but you have to have an emergency plan. Again, they're beating you. There's no emergency plan. Like, let me go get my bag to pack. No, you're in a dire situation. It's escalated like this. Please call the police. Your safety and well-being is absolutely essential above all of the possibilities of retaliation of the narcissist can do. But what happens when you do call, right? So first thing I want you to know is they're going to come to your house. And if the perpetrator narcissist is still there, they're going to bring two teams, two officers at least, to separate you two and get the story straight. And so expect that. That's kind of par for the course, right? They may actually arrest the attacking narcissist. However, I've had so many clients who have been strangled and there's strangle marks on their neck, and one even had like a broken bone, and the police didn't believe them. The police were like, well, they just make excuses. So it really depends on the police in your town, but you stay on this. You get the pictures, take a picture of your neck, take a picture of any kind of bruising and that sort of thing, because sometimes police just don't do anything and you need this evidence for sure, right? So they're going to come in, they're going to assess, they're going to keep you guys separate. They're going to document it. They're going to figure out what to do. The legal options are they going to arrest them? Are they not? If they think a crime has been committed. So this will lead to them going to jail, them having to be bailed out or get out after a certain period of time. And then what? This could mean that you could be asking for a restraining order. And a restraining order after an arrest is really common. This keeps them out from coming back in the house, but it's not always easy to get. Often the restraining order comes after you've had a hearing in a court date. Again, every town, every city, every country is going to be different on this, but I do want to encourage you to make sure that you take these safety precautions, right? If it is a situation where your they're not taking them to jail and you're in the house with them, you may have to find a safety plan at that point. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've decided nothing to see here. Have a nice day. And the police leave and you're sitting there with strangle marks. So what do you do? Right? So a safety plan is always what is good planning if you're in a situation where it has escalated like this before. So that means that you have somewhere to go. You have a best friend, a relative, somebody, even enough money for a hotel room. This means if you have a child, you're taking them. If you have a pet, you're trying to figure out what that is. There are a lot of domestic abuse shelters. They're not always space available. Unfortunately, this is too prolific to really service the victims as well as they can. I was recently at a domestic violence shelter organization. I wouldn't it's more than a shelter. It was an amazing thing here in Denver that they have like, if let's say you were raped, they've got rape rooms. You're not having to go to a hospital. They bring doctors in. They've got legal rooms where the judge can be on the screen, so you're not facing your abuser, having to go to court for that hearing. You could be somewhere in this shelter-esque place where they're doing that, right? So again, find out what shelters, what kind of systems are in place so that if this escalates and you have to get out, hey, you know what, there's this one down the block and I can go to it. If this has happened, you have to understand that, right? So again, key, get a restraining order, fight for it and give reason for it. And if you're in a situation that is escalating, let's just say this right now, if you are in a situation where this is weird, I don't know why they're acting so crazy, get out your phone and record them. And I'm not talking about holding up your phone like this, I'm recording you, because they're not going to do it. Right? They're going to stop and or beat you up even more, right? But if you can grab a phone, turn it on to video and have it upside down, recording the audio only, that is still fair game. And when the police come to evaluate it, they're going to make a decision based on what they've heard, not just what the two sides are saying. So again, not that we have the wherewithal to go, let me go grab my phone. I think you might punch me in the face. But if you're in a situation where this has escalated, keep this in mind. This is one of your safety tips all the time, to know I've got some kind of recording device near me. And there are states. I actually have a thing right here next to my desk. Where is it? I don't even know. Shouldn't have said I have it, but I do. It's a list of every state and your recording laws. What are your recording laws? There's only about, I think, 7 or 8 states that is illegal to record without the other person's permission. In a domestic violence situation, that is often overlooked, and you can play dumb. Oh, I didn't know in my state I couldn't record, right? You're being beaten. They will take the recording and say, don't do that again. But if you know your laws and you know that it's legal, then you have one up to know that this is an arsenal. This is a tool, a weapon for you to at least provide the right evidence so that legal action and consequences can be done to the narcissist if they are physically abusing you. So this is Tracy Malone from Narcissist Abuse Support. I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit. If you need anything narcissistic and need some healing, get to my site, narcissistabusesupport.com. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks.